Alright everybody, I've decided to make a series of videos where I go a little bit more into detail about each one of the functions of the JP Jeep here. So what better place to start than with how it drives and turns. First let me show you the battery management system real quick. That's two 4S batteries going straight to the motors and two 2S batteries that go to all the accessories. And then up here on the dash we have all the low voltage alarms set up like gauges. So under the hood here we got, as for the drive function, it's actually quite simple. That right there is just a cheap Amazon ESC that I got for under $30. It's going straight to the stock motors. Easy, simple, no problem. This is how to steer, and it is obviously a lot more complicated. So as simple as I can put it, the Arduino picks up the signal from the receiver and then uses the H-bridge to move the actuator left or right and then return it back to center. And basically what all that means is this. The code is available on my GitHub, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Next, I explain how I made this thing work. And on today's episode of How It's Made, the bubble cannon. First off, the bubble cannon itself is just an off-the-shelf toy from Costco that I just repainted to make it look more Jurassic Park themed. So then I just removed the pistol grip and hardwired it to an RC switch. So I built the base with a Lazy Susan bearing and a servo, so that way when I go left and right with the left thumbstick, it moves it left and right. And the tilt is basically the same thing in the opposite direction, just a servo hooked up to the up and down, so that way it goes up and down. And instead of messing with the offset and trim and everything, I just made two custom curves that would limit the travel of each one of the servos. But when you put all that together, so that's actually it on that guy. Pretty easy plug and play kind of stuff, but if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. And in my next episode, I'm going to be explaining what all this does. Alright everybody, so on today's episode of How the Hell Did He Build That Thing, we're talking about lights and sound.
Hold on to your butts.
Alright, so I know this is going to seem pretty intimidating, but let me break it down for you real easy real quick. This is lights, this is sound. So starting with the lights, each one of those Arduinos actually goes to a different strip of NeoPixels. Headlights are a strip. Hazard lights are a strip. The insides of all the fenders are one strip. Underside of the chassis is all one strip. And then I just got one last strip on the inside to just give a little bit of accent color. But wait, I know somebody's out there screaming, wait, why didn't you put them all on one Arduino? I have an answer for that. Because mapping them all to one Arduino would take more time than these things cost. And by that I mean, they're $6 a piece. I'd rather pay for 5 of them than spend the time mapping all of the LEDs out. It's just that simple. And if you want to learn more about NeoPixels, go to my website, redrighthandarts.com, and go down to the Instructables link, click on that. NeoPixels 101 teaches you everything you need to know. And now moving on to the soundboard. Alright, so this is where things actually get a little bit more difficult, because that right there is a full RX8 Pro 8-channel receiver. So simply as I can put it, the receiver picks up the signal from the transmitter, which then sends it to the Arduino, which then triggers the chip, which then triggers the soundboard. And then gets played through these computer speakers that I have on the floorboards of the driver's side.
No, I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
So that one's actually going to be a little bit more difficult for y'all to recreate at home, but if you have any questions, hit me up in the comment sections. I'll do what I can to help you out. But that pretty much takes care of everything that's on the JP Jeep for now. But stay tuned, because you never know when I'm just going to come up with something else.